Hey guys, we're headed on a bit of a road trip today. We have some time in between the two cities that we're staying in with churches, most of this weekend actually, and so we're taking a little trip back down to Yobo to visit with our friends, but on the way we thought we'd do some sightseeing, and so we're in Wales, and the Welsh like sheep, apparently, because there's a lot of sheep out there. So prepare yourselves to see a lot of sheep in this video. But yeah, we're just gonna drive around the national park called Snowdonia, and Daniel has some interesting theories about what might be happening in Snowdonia.
Yeah, I have no idea really what we're gonna see there. I've seen pictures. There are some what they call mountains. We'd probably call them hills. And oh, hey, look, there are some more sheep out there.
Sheep and cows.
Oh wow, either side, very, very rural here. But we've officially passed into Wales, and you know, Wales is in the western part of the British island, as it were. And we're gonna be driving through Snowdonia National Park in Snowdonia.
People in front of us are taking pictures of the cows.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, they must be tourists. We're excited to check out Snowdonia, but my theory is that I think that the evil witch from Narnia clearly is ruling over Snowdonia. I mean, with a name as foreboding as Snowdonia, it's going to be covered in snow, ice, evil, or there could be no snow at all, maybe only in the wintertime. But I think we might try and do a little walking on some of the hills. They would call them mountains, and so hopefully we'll be able to show you some of their hills and just the beauty of the countryside, which it is beautiful. So we will see you in half an hour. Hey, so we've just stopped to go to the bathroom after driving for about 2 hours since we left Birmingham, and we finally hit Wales about, I don't know, half an hour ago, and so we've been driving through super kind of narrow, windy roads, but as you can see behind me, it's really, really beautiful, and we're excited to be at our destination, Snowdonia National Park, in probably like half an hour. So yeah, I don't know, how has the drive been for you, Tor?
I've been napping most of the time, so it's been great, but yeah, we finally kind of come to I don't know, all the things that I've seen in pictures on the internet about Wales, like the beautiful rolling hills and all the cows and the sheep and more sheep. So yeah, I'm excited to see the forest.
Okay, so we've been driving in Wales for about an hour and a half now, and mostly through, you know, rolling green hills. Then we went into some forest, and now we finally made it to some mountainous areas. Now, I'll be honest, these are bigger than hills. I would consider these mountains, totally. It's incredible. Like, it's just sort of craggly, sort of moorish. There's like bogs down in the valley here. There's a beautiful lake. And we heard that there's like a train that you can take to the top of Snowdon, you know, which is the biggest mountain around. So we're gonna try and see either if we can walk to the top or take the train or whatever. But it's incredible here. It's beautiful. Guys, we are in a Welsh village called Betwas y Coed, or something like that.
Close.
Yeah, that's kind of close.
Probably.
It's sort of gibberishy. Anyway, Betwas y Coed, we stopped here because there's a visitor center for Snowdonia National Park, and we found out it's called Snowdonia because there's a big mountain, or a large hill rather, called Snowdon, and they kind of gave us some maps and some vague directions. And so we're actually going to do a bit of a loop through around the mountain and see some lakes and stuff. But before we do that, we're going to look for some lunch. So there's the river there, and then looks like some pubs and stuff. I don't know, what are your thoughts on Wales so far? the whole hour we've been here.
I like it. It's really pretty. Yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to walk around and see some stuff and eat food, and yeah, I'm excited.
Big emphasis on eating food right now. I'm pretty hungry. Hey guys, so we don't have much battery left, but Tori and I decided to do a little hiking. So we came across she's got her pink hiking shoes on.
They're really running shoes.
But yeah, we're gonna walk this trail, the trail that takes you to the top of Snowdon, but that's like a 5-hour hike and we've only got an hour. So we're gonna see what we can see. Should be great. So we've been walking for about 10 minutes now, and what we see so far is just, it's beautiful. Huge valley down behind us, and then to the right there are a couple of lakes, and then way up in the distance, straight on ahead, covered in sort of clouds and mist right now, is Snowdon Mountain. So there's no way we're gonna make it to the top, but it's just a beautiful walk.
It's gorgeous. We feel well prepared for this portion of the walk because we've been passed by people wearing Toms and sandals and loafers and all sorts of inappropriate shoes. There's a woman with a stroller on the path right now, so it should be doable.
Yeah, it's an easy hike, but it's definitely worth it. Take a look this way. That road way down in the distance is a road that we'll be driving on our way out of here and as we head back to Birmingham. But yeah, Snowdon would definitely be worth it next time we're here to hike to the top.
I'm gonna need to train for that.
So I've decided to have a bit of my own sort of Bear Grylls moment here. Tori and I split up. Tori continued along the trail, which is about, I don't know, maybe a mile that way. And I decided to go off the beaten path and cross this sort of grassy area and climb this ridge that's over here. I want to see what you can see. And I don't know, it looked fun, but still safe. So I'm here and I've just walked through that grass, and to my dismay, it is not grass. It is a swamp. Like under the grass, you put your foot down and it just fills up with water. So my feet, or my shoes, got almost completely soaked. So I took my shoes off and I'm just sort of walking barefoot through the moorlands here, which is pretty fun. But I'm gonna climb to the top and show you what I see when I get up there. So if I get up there, that is. I'm reporting here from the top of the summit of, well, not the top of the summit, from the summit of the tiny little ridge that I climbed by myself. And it's great. It's beautiful. It's really nice. Just letting my feet air out here. Attractive, I know. Hey, I wanted to get a good view of the ridge that I just climbed, sort of right behind me. And then there's, of course, the lake, mountain up in the background. Now I'm working my way up the hill, back to the main trail here, just sort of scrambling through the rocks. Overall, it's been really great. It's beautiful. There's some sheep kind of winding around. Unfortunately, I haven't had to live off the land or kill any of the sheep to eat them to survive, but I will be hungry tonight when I get home. Very hungry.
So this is the last bit of our Welsh adventure, I think, depending on where we end up next. But our goal was to get some ice cream here in this town called Bedgulert, which we were informed had two good things: really good ice cream and the grave of a dog that died really tragically in like the Dark Ages or something. A long time ago.
A long time ago, yeah.
I don't know when. So we found the grave, but the ice cream shop was closed.
Yeah, it was very sad. Both of those things are sad. The story of the dog and the ice cream being shut.
Yeah.
The story of the dog is a prince used to live here.
A Welsh prince?
Yeah, Llewellyn, the Prince of Wales.
Okay.
And he had a palace here, and he had hunting dogs. And he went off hunting, and one of his faithful hunting dogs wasn't with him. And he came back, and he found the dog covered in blood. And then he was afraid, so he went to his son's room and found his son's bed empty, and it was also really bloody.
Everywhere.
Blood everywhere. So he then, in anger, took his sword and plunged it into his dog, killed his dog. And then you find out that he heard the cries of his child, and he went and he found the kid covered in blood, and then the body of a wolf nearby that the dog had actually fought off and killed and saved his son. And so they buried the dog here, and
apparently the prince never smiled.
Yeah,
again.
the plaque said, and so the prince never smiled again.
That's a little dramatic.
It's pretty dramatic. I'm sure he at least smirked from time to time.
Like maybe a closed mouth smile.
Yeah.
I don't
know. But this village is actually quite nice. Like right behind us, you can see
the church
off in the distance, the village church and stuff. Yeah. It's kind
beautiful.
On a nice, clear, ice-cold, bubbling brook. We might lay our feet inside of it later, but
we're totally gonna put our feet inside of it.
We've got
we're sweaty.
2-hour drive back to Birmingham, so we should probably get going. But yeah, Wales has
cool.
Been great.
I'd say it's worth it.
Definitely.
I mean, people kept telling us, like, everyone in the country was like, "That's a really long drive. You don't want to go that way."
Yeah.
But everybody else was like, "It's really beautiful."
It was worth it.
Worth it.
Worth every bit.
Yeah.
So.
Especially if you can convince someone to drive for you while you take a nap.
Yeah.
Pro tip.
Guilty.